So the whole discussion was about like, how reparations and everything from the time that slavery started, from the time that they brought slaves to the US. Like they say, like 15% died on the way, and then how many children they separated from their families, like, and one out of what every three marriages was broken, one out of every what like five families, the children were separated. And then with like, I mean, it's kind of like a never ending story, like with then and then when they finally had a chance, stuff like Black Wall Street happened, right? So the Tulsa massacre. So the thing is, do you think that African Americans should, like, tell me why you think that, if you do believe, and why, that African Americans should be getting reparations from the government.
I think that you know, any civilized nation or any group of people that wronged any other group of people or any other nation um, should be held accountable. There should be some type of accountability. Um, I don't think that if the United States, France, France, Portugal, Spain, and some of these other uh, colonies, if they decided to pay reparations for all that they've done to not just African people, but folks who are native to this land, and to folks in uh, the Palestinians and so many others, they couldn't afford to pay reparations. Okay, they couldn't afford to pay reparations for Africans in America, first and foremost because it's years of compound debt. We have lived under such treachery and thievery, and it would be impossible to pay. But I do think that they should pay. But if they did pay, then those countries would no longer exist, because it would drain them of all of the natural resources and mineral wealth that they've stolen. The stolen wealth. So of course we would like to see it happen, but is it realistic? No. But I would like to add, though, when I think of reparations, most people think reparations as money. That's not what we're talking about. Our first order of operation is our political prisoners, because like any other civilized nation, whenever there is war or there's any type of uh, you know fighting or what have you, any type of disagreements, the first thing before anything can go down is they want their captives back. You know what I mean? So we want our political prisoners back first and foremost. And it is my belief that if we are, the question around reparations should also include the continent of Africa. I think that the first thing should be, we should be they should be paying reparations to folks on the continent, because they stole not only the land, not only the minerals and the wealth. They stole us. They stole humans. So yeah, we totally believe that reparations should be paid, but will it be paid? We don't believe this country is capable of that type of uh, accountability or respect for us as a whole.
So, I mean, like, people might say that, slavery happened a long time ago, and like today's taxpayer, like, should they have to pay for something that happened a long time ago? And then there's so many different types of reparations that the U.S. has paid, like, for instance, the reparations to Japanese people, right? Or the U.S. also really pushed for the reparations for the victims of Holocaust. So how would you say that this could compare, if it can?
Well, I would say first and foremost, if I came to your house and, or my ancestors came to your home and they robbed you and they raped your family and they took your land from you, you know, there's no way that generations down the line, folks are going to say, okay, well, that was the past. It doesn't go like that. The victims of the Holocaust, they're still arresting uh, uh, Nazi war criminals to this day. They don't care if they're 90 years old. They don't care if they're 150. They're not saying it's a thing of the past because it is a pain. It is a form of terrorism that has affected generations, and that is what happened with Africans here in America. Um, it has been terror, and it's a continued terror. And slavery is not over; it just changed forms. We have a quote unquote prison industrial complex here. The United States of America is 5% of the world population, yet 25% of all prisoners reside in the United States. And 67% of those prisoners happen to be Black folks. So slavery is the foundation of U.S. economics. And it is, when I hear folks say that, you know, that want to argue to not pay reparations, we think it's ridiculous because of the fact that we know that this country has been built, it parlayed an empire off of stolen resources. And again, if I went and stole something from you, then I would go to jail for receiving stolen goods because I own it. It's not like I can say, well, I didn't steal it. Well, look, you have to give it up because it doesn't belong to you. This land, the very land that we live on here in the United States, it doesn't belong to the so-called Americans. It doesn't even belong to us. You know what I'm saying? Africans here in America. There were natives that existed on this continent before we came along. But just like we are owed reparations, the natives of this land are owed reparations. So yeah, we think that you know, it's theft and it's receiving stolen goods. And if you have benefited off that theft, then I think you owe the people that you're benefiting from.